This is just a short video to introduce you to the basic functions and operation of AB Tutor, which is a very useful facility to have when you're looking after a computer room. So to begin with, you'll need to go to the list of programs, which is on this side. Now, I'm operating this from my home computer, which doesn't have AB Tutor, but it's in about this area. And when you click on it, what you will get is this entry field, and you'll put your username, your regular network username and password in there, and then click OK. After a short interval, this is the screen that you will get, and you need to have beforehand spoken to Mr. Roscoe and being given access to the different groups, which is to say the different classrooms. Once he knows that you've asked for authorization to use AB Tutor in a classroom, I think it takes him about 1 minute to do, but it's better to get this done beforehand rather than find that he's busy and he can't do it immediately for you. So if we assume that you've had the authorization, what you'll do is you'll click on this arrow up here, and then what will happen is you'll get this display here will appear, and these are all the rooms that you are authorized to use AB Tutor in. So as I was in room M25, I'd click on this box here, and then this is what would appear. Now, these are all the computers in the room. This is where I've scratched out some of the students' names. And one of the first windows that you'll get is this small window of thumbnails over here, and this is really the most useful thing in the whole of AB Tutor. This is where you can watch what's going on every computer in the room. So if you click onto this small window, it will open up into full screen, and you can get to see in a lot more detail who's looking at what. Okay. Now, if you imagine that we had a scenario, you wanted to take a closer look at what was going on one of the students' screens, you can double click here on this individual thumbnail, and it will expand out to a full-size one. Now, the very useful facility that you have here is if you go up to this icon and click this, what you actually do is you'll take control of that student's screen, and you'll be able to come down here and you'll be able to operate the different options. You'll be able to open programs, you'll be able to move files around, and this is a very good way of helping one of the students with an IT problem, rather than going over to where they are and trying to either peer over their shoulder and tell them what to do, or getting them to move off to one side. Then you operate their computer and they can't really see what you're doing. So this is a very, very useful facility. Now you can disconnect from the lockout by either clicking back up here and giving control of the screen back to the student, or you can click the X and get rid of this viewing window, and that returns control to the student. Another feature of AB Tutor, which is also very useful, is this feature here, the lock button, and there's also another version of it over here. And what you can do is you can select and turn blue either one or as many of the machines as you like. Click the lock button there, and what will happen is this icon will appear in notifications, and this is what will appear on the student's screen. Now, I found this quite useful if you want to talk to the whole class and they just will not stop tapping away or playing with a mouse. Basically just lock off all the machines, get everyone to look to the front. When you've finished, you can cancel this by clicking on the lock button again, or I've had some occasions where people were continuously going onto gaming sites or sites that I didn't want them looking at, and I would give them a 5-minute timeout from this. okay, and just basically lock off the computer for 5 minutes. That seemed to have quite a good effect on some of the students. As I say, this is just a very, very quick introduction to a very few features of AB Tutor. You will need to speak to Mr. Roscoe first to get these authorizations, and if you have any other questions on that, feel free to get in touch with me. Thanks for listening.